I talk about starting to embrace losing, and they start winning. It's only 2 of 3, but it's still 2 of 3. I just want to celebrate another game they're winning. I just want to celebrate. Sens win 5-2 over the San Jose Sharks. How are the young guys now? I finally did it! I scored again! Quit taking penalties! The Sens are gonna blow this game. Way to tie up the stick in front. Not. Well done. Just well done. You better believe we're gonna be having a penalty chat at the end of this one. What a time to be alive! What a long and brutal season that was. This team, man! What a huge win last night. Taking points away from the Shark is very important for the Sens because the Sharks are not playing great and Ottawa has their first round pick. There's been so much bad news and negativity for Sens fans. Maybe the Sharks are going to give Ottawa picks 1 and then 2. Won't happen, but I can keep dreaming. Karlsson is back in Ottawa again. He was awful, by the way. And the Sens beat the brakes off the Sharks again. It really was a great night, and Ottawa's effort was really strong. It was probably one of their best efforts of the season. As always, though, let's kick things off with lineup changes. And after losing to the Islanders on Friday night, the Sens made a pair of changes to their lineup. The first came in goal, where Andy got the start after playing real well in relief of Nilsson on Friday night. And the second was a surprise up front. For the first time in his 12-year career, Bobby Ryan was a healthy scratch for performance-related reasons. And to replace Ryan, the Sens recalled Philip Chalapik from Belleville. This was a bit of an interesting move, but Smith preaches hard work, and we're starting to see that. He hasn't been overly happy with Ryan so far, and Chalapik has been making a real impression in Belleville. As long as he's consistent between message and action, I'm good with it. And in the early going, the change in goal has a huge part in the game, as Anderson makes a couple saves early and allows the Sens to get into the game and eventually take the lead. 6:30 in, the Sens win the faceoff and the puck goes back to Brown. He fires a shot on goal, it misses the net, goes out to the point to Zaitsev. He fires one on goal, it hits the Sharks player in front, bounces over the stick of a Sens player and a Sharks player, lands on the stick of Connor Brown, who's wide open in front because Erik Karlsson is literally staring his goalie in the eyes. Brown 1-1 by Dell, and the Sens lead 1-0. And the Ginger Beauty gets his first as a Sen. The road to 20 officially begins now. But let's be honest, Karlsson should have covered Brown. It was one of those nights defensively for Karlsson, and although he's amazing, I'm honestly glad I'm on the other side of it for once. The Sens then run into some penalty trouble, giving the Sharks a 5-on-3, and they take advantage. Karlsson carries the puck the whole way up the ice, hits the blue line, and leaves it for Cachet. He goes across ice to Burns, he fakes a slap shot, sends it down low to Kane, who's got a wide open net because the fake slap shot fooled Andy. Kane types it in the empty net, and we're tied at 1. You can talk about the defensive zone coverage all you want on this goal, but this absolutely started and finished with the neutral zone. Karlsson got the puck behind his own net and carried it all the way up the ice into the Sens zone. Not once seeing a Sens player. Not a single one. How on earth is skating backwards and giving the other team the zone without even a little bit of resistance any kind of a solid strategy? This goal definitely proved that it wasn't. I can't stand that. Like, just backing up, it's just awful. And another power play a few minutes later nearly gives the Sharks their first lead. You better sit down for what I'm about to tell you. Evander Kane's jamming away at the puck on a scramble. He gets the puck underneath Andy, and just as it's about to cross the line, Ron Hainsey's glove and Nikita Zaitsev's stick come out of nowhere and haul the puck off the line. Ron Hainsey and Nikita Zaitsev just saved a goal. Really never thought I'd be saying that. Oh, and by the way, how's CC working out for you, Leafs fans? That was arguably the turning point of the game too, as Ottawa would come back about a minute later and grab a lead they would never again relinquish. Tkachuk feeds Paul, who races in one-on-one on Karlsson. Paul hits the top of the circle and blows a wrist shot by Aaron Dell to put the Sens in front 2-1. What an unreal snipe by Paul. I'm sure Dell would have liked to have had that goal, but man oh man, what a shot. Despite being badly outshot because of penalties, the Sens do hit the first intermission with that 2-1 lead. The Sens take over the game in the second, another shocking thing for me to say, but Dell is equal to the task each and every time until about 9 minutes left when Ottawa's hard work is finally rewarded. Brown steals the puck from Karlsson, and he and Paul race in 3-on-2. Paul goes hard to the net, blows by Karlsson, Brown feeds him with a pass, he tips one by Dell, and just like that, it's 3-1 Sens. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Nick Paul has looked really good since being called back up. It's amazing what being given a chance will do to a player. Paul's second in the night gives the Sens a cushion, and it's a good thing too, because they fall asleep a few minutes later, and the Sharks take advantage. Burns hits LeBanc on a stretch pass. There's not a Sen in sight. He races in all alone, freezes Andy slightly, blows the wrister by the Sens netminder, and cuts the Sharks' deficit to 3-2. What in the holy name of Mary happened here? How on earth does LeBanc get that wide open? That was just ugly. Thankfully though, the Sens don't let that bother them and would respond again before the end of the period. With under a minute to go in the period, Dylan DeMello does the old shot pass thing and fires a low shot off the pad of Dell. He kicks it out, but Cachet is Brady on the spot. He bangs home the rebound, and the Sens have their 2-goal lead back. What a huge goal too. Regain the 2-goal lead, score in the final minute of a period, and chase the other team's netminder at the intermission. Coming out for the third period, Martin Jones replaced Aaron Dell with the Sens in front 4-2. The goalie change doesn't do much to help the Sharks, as they can't find the back of the net on any of their 13 third period shots. And late in the third period, Anthony Duclair shows his speed, blows by Brendan Dillon, cuts across the net, tucks the puck by an outstretched pad of Martin Jones, and gives the Sens a 5-2 lead. What a tremendous goal by Duclair. He has unbelievable speed, and when he uses it, he's tough to stop. The Duclair goal is the final nail in the coffin as the Sens skate away with a 5-2 win, thanks in large part to Karlsson. Man alive, he was bad. He had no points, was a -4, was on the ice for all 5 Sens goals, and literally watched his man score 4 of those 5 goals. Just brutal. Thank God the Sens have Thomas Chabot now. As always though, let's get into good news, bad news. Brady Tkachuk is a Sen, and that is the good news. Tkachuk's goal was his 25th and his 82nd career NHL game. The Tkachuks know a thing or two about being great NHL players, but neither Keith nor Matthew were able to score 25 as quickly as Brady. Brady is the most skilled of the Tkachuk trio, and he's a Sen, and that is the good news. Now, for the bad news. This might be temporary, but the win moves the Sens out of last place, and that is the bad news. The Sens are now tied with Detroit for second last, but the Sens have a game in hand on the Wings, and they're only 1 point behind LA, and they have a game in hand on them as well. For a rebuilding team, that hurts. Like I said, it may not last long, but the Sens are playing better right now and are no longer in last place, and that is the bad news. Next up, the Sens have a bit of a strange schedule, as they're now off until Saturday night when they visit the Boston Bruins. This week off better be huge for the Sens, because they're going to need every bit of practice time they can get. As of October 28th, the Bruins are 8-1-2 so far this season, and have points in 7 straight games. So this is going to go well. Oh, and the Sens were 0-3-1 against the Bruins last season, and were absolutely killed by the Pasternak line, who has been unreal so far this season, especially Pasternak. Can the Sens just concede a 1-0 loss and move on? It will be much less painful than what I think's about to come. Man, I hate playing the Bruins. That'll do it for this video. Hit like if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share it with other people. And today's question is, what would you do with Bobby Ryan? Would you put him back in the lineup, or would you keep him scratched? Let me know down below. I'd say I'd see you Saturday night, but every time I think I've got a little bit of time off, the Sens make a trade or do something crazy. So my bet is they'll do that this week. Probably make a trade. So I'll see you then, and if for some strange reason they actually don't do that, I'll see you Saturday night when the Sens visit the Boston Bruins.